Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro with your friendly neighborhood photographer. You know me. They call me Carty. Welcome. Hopefully, you're having a good day. Let's go. Hopefully, you guys are excited. I'm excited about today. Hanging out with my Hasselblad, feeling like this Hasselblad needs like some rubs, a little bit of bum rubs, little pat, a little ASMR. I love this baby. I rarely talk about gear, I gotta tell you, but I've been looking at some new Canon lenses lately, and I've been looking at some new Canon cameras lately, which is a very strange thing, because I'm one of those purchasers that is very. Let's go, Julie, glad you're here. I'm one of those purchasers that's a little bit more conservative, I would say, about buying gear. I do a lot of research before I buy anything. I do a lot of research before I buy anything, and it's been a minute. I recently bought a 16 millimeter lens for my camera, which I feel really good about. The 16 is incredible. I haven't really shot anything with it yet, although I will soon. I have some more video content that I'm going to be working on. I also am in the middle of a recut, which is something I rarely re-edit something once it's like actually finished. There's no need to edit it again, usually, especially video content. But when it comes to YouTube and when it comes to performance, and especially because I've been in YouTube University, like literally for the last, I would say, year, and then over the last 3 months, like intense YouTube University. So that's changes. That means changes. That means, hey, maybe you have to pull down a video, re-edit a video, re-upload a video. Maybe that means you need to shorten something, and that's what I'm doing, as well as trying to make short form content of my long form content, which the amount of editing that I've been doing these days is more editing that I've done ever as far as video editing. So I feel good. I'm getting better. I'm definitely getting better. Let's go, Malcolm. Congratulations on all your success, my guy. Been watching the Discord. I have to actually say thank you for being so active on the Discord. You are very active on the Discord, and I just feel your enthusiasm. And the thing that's amazing, Malcolm, is just how your business is actually progressing. Your business is working, and people are really starting to hire you, man. And I like that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Very happy with you, Malcolm. So congratulations on all your success, my guy. Congratulations. All right. Guess what's back? Guess who's Bizak? Yo, I have all kinds of fun on my stream. And guys, let's go. Bear Thunder. How are you? How are you? How are you? Bear, I hope you're well. Been really loving the portraiture that you've been submitting. So please continue to submit more of your people photography. We definitely miss it. And I know you've been working a lot, and these shows are hard for you to catch, but I appreciate you watching whenever you can, and hopefully you have some photographs to submit later on today. All right. All right. Hey, look, we got a new girl. Oh, hello. Look at you there with your fine self. Guys, it's not going to be too long before I have it. So you guys, chat controls my stream. You know how I had it on Twitch where you guys were controlling my stream? We're getting very close to you guys being able to control my stream right here on YouTube. So I appreciate you. All right. Let's get into some content. Yeah? Let's get into some content. So today's topic, we're talking about your dreams, your photography dreams, your goals in life. They don't have deadlines, by the way. I don't know if anyone's actually related this to you or if you've thought of this, but the things that you create for yourself to do, any of your goals, any of things that you want to I want to accomplish this. The deadlines that we set are to keep us on track. You know, the deadlines that we set for our dreams, our dream house, our dream car, our dream camera, these things they're sort of our own. We're creating our own structure, and that structure helps us stay on track. Yeah. But at the same time, we can't pile on ourselves if we don't meet a deadline per se with our dreams. You know, what we can do is assess. And you guys, I'm sure, have watched my video 7 tips on your key steps to making it as a photographer. That video, I talk a lot about assessing yourself. Let's go, Jason Williams. Welcome, my guy. I talk a lot about assessing yourself, and part of that assessment process is like how ready you are, your readyism. And also, part of that assessment process, you have to realize when, if you're not meeting your goals, part of that assessment process is writing down why. And also, once you write down the why and you can isolate why you think things aren't or things didn't flow the way that you hoped that they would, it becomes super easy to correct. It becomes really easy to correct the why once you do a breakdown, once you assess yourself, and once you really look at what went wrong, you know? So don't get discouraged if you're trying to be a professional photographer and you haven't made money yet. Know that you can't quit. You know, this is a test. This whole life thing is a bit of a test. So, you know, your success is like right around the corner, but you have to keep your foot on the gas pedal. You know, you can drive across the country only seeing 100 feet ahead of you, and the next 100 feet, and then the next 100 feet. So as long as you know what your destination is and can see short term, it's easy to hit long-term goals. But at the same point, if you have a crash, if you sidetrack, if you run out of gas or whatever, stop, assess, fix, and then get right back on track. And that's advice for life. That's advice for us, the creatives, because sometimes it is difficult it's difficult staying on track, you know? Bear Thunder dreams about ice cream. Oh my God. I dream about the days that I used to be able to have ice cream. I'm so lactose intolerant. Ice cream is not even part of my realm anymore. Not even part of my realm anymore, my world. And whenever I do decide to endeavor into maybe some lactose-free ice cream, it always ends up a disaster. So I try to not deal too much with the lactose-free ice cream, because that bugs me too. All right, guys, let's get into today's vibes. First of all, as I've said, our dreams don't have deadlines. And we're going to start by looking at a photographer. His name, I don't really know his actual name, but he goes by Hytha, CG, Hytha, art and design. Now, I'm going to read a little bit about Hytha. Chris Hytha. Chris is a designer and visual artist based in the city of Philadelphia. Back in 2015, a passion for photography sparked when Chris moved from his small hometown just outside of Philly to begin architecture school at Drexel University. Chris's visual art developed alongside his growing skills as a designer, and his architectural influence is integral to his work. His main inspiration are to create the light, and his main inspirations to create our light and built environment. So this is a short video on Chris, which I didn't see before, but I would really kind of like to react to this. This is 2 minutes, and then I want to show you his work, because the work that really grabbed me here is kind of bananas. So let's first look at this short 2-minute video, and then I'm going to show you why this creator's work is just so fly. So fly.
We heard from some locals that there was going to be a storm. We're just young guys that don't heed warnings. So we were like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Our plan was to sleep behind a church. Literally everyone we talked to
Look how
said,
young
like,
this
oh,
kid
you know about the
is.
storm, right? We're like, oh,
So
no, this might be
young.
bad, right?
Oh my
We
God.
ended up going to a
His
state park
photography
where
is
we knew they had a
really
pavilion.
clean, though.
A literal tornado siren started sounding in the park.
It's
and
really
all our
clean.
phones started buzzing like tornado, tornado warning, tornado watch. And it was honestly pretty scary because we had a pavilion and a bathroom. And we were thinking like, all right, maybe if we are in this cinder block
What do you guys
bathroom
think of the
thing,
work?
it'll be okay. Like what if these trees fall down? What if the tornado hits us?
What do you guys think
Like,
of the
it
work?
could be really bad. So that was definitely a very tangible feeling to be in the midst of a tornado. So I actually started.
Oh my God, this
photography
guy gives me
when I started
anxiety where
school,
he's at
and
the
I never
edges.
wanted to be
I'm afraid
a
of heights,
photographer.
by the way.
The other weekend, my mom was like, "When did you become a photographer?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't know. Like, I thought I was in architecture school." So it really started alongside architecture school. I started to really appreciate the city, just the built environment, the buildings, the architecture, and the story that all that tells. I started sketching architectural kind of style of drawing.
His sketches
really early.
are so incredible,
I definitely
this
started
kid.
like
I'm
appreciating
very, very
what I was
impressed with
seeing
his
in the world
sketches,
and kind
you
of
know?
documenting what I was seeing in the world, but not exactly through photography. And I'm just super captivated by it. Like I would bike around the city and I just couldn't help.
One thing I want you guys to notice is just the passion in this kid's voice. Like you can feel how absolutely like into it this kid is. Like and I say kid because I'm 52 and he lives at home with his mom, so he's obviously a
Like
youngin'.
look up at the tops of the buildings and just look around, and oftentimes people just thought I was a tourist. They would ask me if I needed directions. I was like, no, just looking around. I also had this vision of like what could be.
Oh, this is
rather
really
than
interesting. I
what
didn't know
is.
that he was
Because in
tracing
architecture,
his
we're always
pictures. That's
designing
sick.
something and then photoshopping that into
That's
an
sick.
existing scene and thinking about how we could change it, how we could make it better. I saw photography in the same way. You know, why not change it to fit my vision and like fit this unique perspective I have?
Layers, Batman.
I'm comfortable just going with the flow. The reason I've been able to do that is just because I'm doing architecture, and photography has always just been a hobby, and that hobby has grown and it started to
hot.
take more time, and I've started to get opportunities. It's super exciting to just get emails from random companies that want to collaborate in different ways. I just started.
The thing that I love about this kid is like he just did it, you know? And you can see he's very educated. Obviously, he's, you know, architecture school. He's incredibly articulate, and you can see his passion. And I mean, today that's really that seems to be a theme that's going to run through all the creators we're going to talk about today, and all the work that I'm going to show. Passion, with the exception of one very controversial thing that I want to talk about. Yeah, one very controversial thing. So I'm going to wait for you guys to pack in a little bit before I
Working
get
with
into
an
that.
artist on a music cover and kind of branding him as an artist, and I'm really excited about that. So honestly, I'm just kind of seeing where it takes me.
I really like the light that's in that shot. So Hytha.cg, at Hytha, that's his Insta. So imagine that's a great place, I think, to start with Chris. Now, what really excited me about this creator is his drone photography. Now, we've seen a lot of drone photography. Turtle is really trying to make it as a drone pilot. So I really thought that this would be a perfect thing to show not only Turtle, hello Turtle, thanks for watching, but also everybody, because we all have to kind of find our unique perspective. We all have to find our own thing, that thing that we do that makes not only other photographers, but makes clients pay attention. Like that's really the only goal. So I really love the fact that Hytha started this high rises blog, and what he does is he flies his drone to the top of these very very popular New York City landmarks, and he makes this incredibly detailed portrait, and he rinses and repeats. This is Smith Tower in Seattle, Washington. Look at that. Look at how clean that is. And shot with the drone. Again, I'll say shot with the drone. And so inspired. Like, for me, it's inspired. Like, I just really think that it feels, this is Washington Athletic Club. Look at this work, man. Can you not, let's go Nate Stark. Can you not see that this is an architect? Can you not see that this guy is like, architecture is his first love? Like, that to me is, oh my God, this is what I think my crowd here is is freaking out about. The heights. I mean, yeah. Everybody watching, yes. I feel I wouldn't feel comfortable in this balcony. Like, I do deal with heights. Like, let's say I deal with them, but I don't love them. This is another absolutely gorgeous, like all of them. And you see the style. And what this photographer has done is, beyond creating this work, this photographer has made a book. And now you click any one of these prints and it brings you to Northern Life. And it's actually, this is a print. So he's selling editioned prints, edition 1 to 25, 25 to 50. So when you're getting the last print, like, the prices go up as the amount of prints that he has left goes down. So I'm gonna post Hytha. This is or Julie can post it. Hytha. I can post it. And I think that this is a good template for selling prints. And the thing that I think is the most important is your anchor, and the anchor is the work. There's nothing that's more important than the work, and you guys can see clearly this shooter really has a great sensibility. He built this site with Squarespace, so this is like Squarespace integration as far as the web store. Roosevelt, beautiful. I mean, you guys tell me if you're feeling the work the same way that I do. Definitely leave a message in chat or leave a comment if you're feeling Chris Hytha's work. And high rises. This is a print also, like a poster style print that he sells with all the different plates. View the full high rises collection, which he puts you, and I mean, this is such a great idea for a site, giving you the map. This is dope. And I think, super clever. Super clever. And look how he has them knocked out. Oh, this is super clever. I mean, I don't like the nav. The nav, unfortunately, here is a little weird. Like, I'm trying to... You can't really horizontally scroll. But he has, like, all the heights and all this stuff, which is very, very interesting. The rest of his photography, he does stuff on row homes, which seems very much the same style. And then is selling prints. Like, it's such an interesting angle on photography. He dived deep into NFTs. These are all NFTs. They almost look like miniatures. It's a very clever idea, yeah? What do you guys think? Father Howie, glad you're here, buddy. Welcome. So that's our first little bit of vibes today, looking at our man Chris Hytha. I hope you guys enjoy. Please have a look at Chris's work in a little bit more detail on your own, and also look at the way that he has prints for sale and the way that he links his prints right from his website. So it's kind of genius. I'm in the middle of like I'm juggling so many things, but my very good friend Tim, who's also acts as my consultant, just gave me a big breakdown on what I should be doing with my site, and he hit me like this. And I was like, oh, you're absolutely right. So it's great to have people who can call me on my stuff. And Tim is definitely that guy. Guys, by the way, I have a Discord. My Discord is the fastest growing community of young photographers. Not all of them are young, but they're emerging. Age doesn't matter as far as that vibe. It's more about their journey of their photography career. It goes from people who are quite experienced to people who are relatively new. And all of them have talent, all of them have a vision, and all of them are watching regularly and leveling up their photography. So we want you as part of the crew. So if you're catching this video after the fact and it's not live, please consider joining us. Command Discord, and it's also in the description. It's everywhere. Just you'll find it. All right. So guys, I'm very excited about this recut. I'm re-editing my easy one light setups video. I'm re-editing that and re-uploading. So it's gonna go up probably later today or tomorrow. Make sure you give the re-edit a watch. It'll be worth your time. All right, let's get into, what are my notes? Who else was I gonna show you? Oh yes, I forgot. One of my favorite photographers that is from Canada to look at. I love her website. Her name is Sarah Emily. You guys know I've shown Sarah Emily work quite a bit, but this is a new story from Sarah. Let's have a look at some new work from Sarah Emily. Again, I haven't seen this story. I just literally saw that it was a new story, saw the thumbnail, and I copied the link, and I wanted to show it with you guys. Oh, look at this work, guys. Look at this work. Look at her skin. I'm gonna hide my camera for full effect. Look at this skin. Are you guys feeling it? For my skin retouchers in the audience, what do you guys think of this skin? Look at the nails. Like, look at the details. If you do a scan, you can really see that this girl really, really cares about details. You know, it's, I love obsessive photographers. And you can see, although, yes, we are a little bit claustrophobic. We're a little bit claustrophobic here and here. I mean, that's what I would say to anybody who submitted this photo. Other than that, it's still super dope. And the other thing is that this is a 8x12. And if it's going to go to a 9x12, we're going to lose top and bottom. And you can see we're going to lose that or this if we don't crop from the bottom, because we don't want to lose anything around her hand, right? So know that these small cropping things are things that I think that we should catch. And again, this girl's a working photographer, but even still, this crop, on the other hand, this crop works within this frame and also would work as a 9x12. And even the cropping of the chin is not something that I'm a fan of, cutting the chin. Like, I don't usually crop my chin so they go out of frame. But or crop the eye like straight through like this, but at the same point, it's something that there's no rules. There's rules, but there's no rules, right? So it's one of those things where you just shoot from the hip and feel it, you know? But I just love this creator's work. I love it. I love how detailed her skin is. I just love. Julie, what do you think? Hey, eFriend, welcome. Glad you're here. What do you think? Mark Fox, if I didn't say hi, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Look at this. You guys hear how I talk about lip lines and overpainted? This is a perfect lip line. Look at where this girl's lips end. They end right here. There's no breaks in the lip line. It's like, this is perfect lipstick. Perfect. Although this story is quite claustrophobic, Julie, I feel it. My rival eFriend. I love this fucking audience. I love you guys, man. I'm so happy that I have you guys here with me. I'm so happy that you guys watch my stream. It just makes me, let's go. All right, so that is a new story from Sarah Emily. Of course, I'm always trying to inspire. Now that we have all my regulars here, I have questions. We are going to get into something that is going to be a little bit controversial. But hey, I have to say how I feel. That's all. I'm allowed to say how I feel. I'm very interested in how you feel about this exact topic. I want you guys to be 100% honest, but I want you guys to tell me how you feel. Let's get into the controversy. Let's get into Carty Reacts. So I've been wanting to talk about this creator for a minute, and I want to preface, but I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. That's not ever my goal. But I'm starting to have like a feeling from Peter McKinnon. And that feeling is, how can I put it? It's almost like I could say showing off, but showing off would sound like I'm jealous or envious or anything like that, and that's not the case. It's almost like rubbing your face in shit, like, is kind of what it feels like. You know, when your dog shits on and you're like, don't, you know, like back in the day, like that's what people would do. I feel like all of us creators, we're all at all kinds of different levels, right? But watching this content makes me sometimes feel like he has this perfect photo life, right? Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to watch. There's no way I'm going to be able to watch all of this video, and I'm also going to mute it because of epidemic sound, because of like 1,000 different reasons. But basically, he's creating this unattainable photography life. This life has been created from us watching his content, watching his videos, and sometimes he talks about photography. Sometimes he talks about photography, but unfortunately, to me, it's so much more about ego. Now, like, to me, it feels like this is now, and this particular video really kind of upset me. It's like, okay, let's get together like a boys club of me and a bunch of other creators that are all there just to create content, just to make YouTube videos for us to watch, which are monetized, which are paid for by Canon, by DJI, by all of these sponsors. Like, look at this life. Okay, let's get the cool Jeeps and let's drive around here and let's do the cool drone shots and the cool, like, he calls his whole thing a pirate ship. Like, he knows he's a pirate. Let's go, 44 Games. I'm glad you're here, buddy. So there's pirates rob and pillage, right? So it's like, okay, all his, like, basically footage, his editor, let's just all go up there and kind of circle jerk and like all create this stuff and we'll all share, so we have like the most unattainable footage ever, and then we'll all put together our videos, share them, and then make money from people looking at this life that they don't have. Like, that I think is where I don't get to just travel to Iceland. I'm too busy here working, I'm doing photography projects. Now, he's created this beautiful life, and it's a template. It's definitely a template for photography YouTubers, you know? But I think the way that at this point, this video shows and gives us nothing. There's no information, there's no education, there's no learning, there's no teaching. It's just, look at me, I'm a cool guy, look at all the shit that I can do. And guess what, I'm making more dollars at you watching me. Look at this shot now, me on top of a mountaintop. Look at this shot. Like, the ego for me, that's like, listen, Julie, it's gorgeous. Like, that's the thing. He's a beautiful creator. He makes incredible content, but it's meta. It's meta. It's about this. This is the money for him. Us watching this, it's like, this is the entertainment. Like, watching his life. And for me, I don't feel good. I mean, again, I'm asking you guys. I want to know how you guys feel. But when I watch his footage, when I watch his videos, it makes me feel like, why am I not doing that? Like, and it's like, well, because I'm doing other shit. I'm doing my own cool shit. But somehow watching his content makes me feel like, yeah, dude, but his shit is cooler than your shit, you know? Like, and again, the views, this video came out a couple days ago and it's at, I don't know, 1 million views already. So it's at 125,000 views. So I don't know, these like, I don't know, the shots are amazing, but the thing that I had the hardest time with is this circle jerk. It's just like, oh, let me have your drone footage. No, will you give me this footage? And I'll get and it's, oh, here he is the first time with the camera, busts out, again, he's shooting with a very unattainable camera. So it's all, for me, it's like about lofting. And no, listen, Malcolm says I can't blame him for doing videos like this. It earns him a ton. But you watch him not from a keeping up with the Joneses standpoint. He's living his best life, and that's okay. For sure. I definitely appreciate that. And again, I'm considering making a video, but again, I don't want it to come off like I am at all. I mean, all creators have a little bit of envy. Like, fuck, I wish I was Peter McKinnon, of course. You know what I mean? But I'm just wondering, like, where and what it's become, you know? Like, that's sort of what I'm more thinking about, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little cliquey nowadays, and the thing that for me personally as well, I have a very hard time with is I've never seen a person of color on this channel ever. Not a portrait of a person of color, not a person of color in a video. He does have a Chinese editor, an Asian editor, Filipino, but I have a hard time with. He's Canadian. It's super multicultural here, like incredibly multicultural here. So not seeing diversity, I don't know, that makes me feel a little bit strange. I don't know how you feel about that, Warbucks, or any of you. He does sometimes, but I think when a channel is mostly that, I'm super interested. But his channel, I think, is a mix of like, look at my crazy studio that I'm building, look at the crazy studio that I'm in, look at this crazy location that I'm in, look at this crazy like, it's just I don't know. I just how are you, big brother? Let's go. So yeah, I don't know, like he used to do 2 Minute Tuesday, I guess, but those videos I think are fewer and far between. It's more this type of content. And for me, the sponsored content, meaning it being paid for by DJI, paid for by, which is amazing. It makes it so you can make better videos. But I don't know. It's just, I just wonder where the place of the creation is coming from, you know? And again, it's all might sound jealous and envy, but I just wanted, I just wanted to talk about it. And I mean, that's all we wanted. That's all I want to do, especially during these Tuesday, Thursday shows, is have conversations. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jay. I appreciate you. And Jay, honestly, the video content that you put out this week was just so spectacular, man. I'm so proud of you. So guys, that's it on this guy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and how he makes you feel as a creator. Like how he makes you feel. Does he make you feel good about yourself, bad about yourself, or doesn't change anything about what you do? I'm just very curious because, again, it's like he's a household name because of YouTube. So, you know, Julie says he doesn't make me feel anything. One dog, let's go. I'm glad you're here, everybody. Herb, let's go, baby. Glad you guys are here. All right, so that is a little bit of Carty Reacts. I wanted to talk, you know? Big brother Les, 44 games. I'm glad you're here. Andy, Chris, wherever you are. I hope you are somewhere close. I didn't see a chat message if you popped up in chat. All right. Let's go into mastery. My biggest influence, portrait-wise, when I was in photography school, I could easily say it was Yousuf Karsh. Karsh kind of early on as a photographer. When I was in photography school, I was 19. And that's when I first learned about the work of Yousuf Karsh. And one of my classmates looked up, where does Yousuf Karsh live? And he happened to live in Ottawa. And my homie's like, hey, we can go there, eh? We can just get a car, rent a car, drive to Ottawa and meet him. So we literally, I think it was 12 of us. First year, Ryerson photography students, we rented a van on our own and drove to Ottawa to the chateau, the hotel where Yousuf lived, and met him and his assistant. And Yousuf Karsh sat us in a semicircle. And I do have this photograph somewhere. I definitely have to go through my archives to find it. But he photographed the class, and his assistant photographed. I mean, Yousuf didn't photograph the class. His assistant photographed the class with him, and Karsh told us the story of when he photographed Winston Churchill and pulled the cigar from his mouth. So Karsh has always been for me. Let's go, Andy. Karsh has always been for me one of my absolute biggest inspirations, and it's just the work. The work has always been just absolutely, well, I'll just show you in case you're not familiar with the work of yousuf Karsh. Oops. Is this just a little slideshow, or is this talking? I didn't listen to this, but this is Ottawa, Canada. So I'm just gonna talk over this actually because
they were born in Armenia.
Oh, there we go.
And had to leave Armenia because of the genocide.
Andrew Belfour was one of Karsh's assistants for a very, very long time.
He wasn't born into money. He didn't have money given to him. Everything he had.
The volume's quite low. Apologize.
And, he was really good at seeing how what he did today would.
Andrew Belfour was Karsh's assistant for a really good long time in his life.
He would wait.
In fact,
he could get
Andrew might have been his assistant. No, actually, no. It was a younger. He would have been younger, closer
and
to.
then he made books.
I don't know. Maybe it was
which
him.
would always take him to the next level.
So this is the hotel where Karsh lived in Ottawa. This is the hotel where Karsh lived in Ottawa. Yeah, it's this is Canada, which is kind of dope. And I mean, I know Ottawa just too well. I know Ottawa too well. And Karsh is Armenian, so many Armenians fled to come to Canada. Like Canada was like safety. Him looking at photographs of Peggy Cummins. This photographer. Oh, let's bring back Andrew. Sorry, I'm gonna mute the music in between.
All pyramids look this way. So this is the thing. You need the base. So Karsh did the base for many, many years, probably 10 or 20 years before he had beyond the.
Saw this young lady at the Boston Public Library during my apprenticeship days with John Garrow and invited her to Garrow's studio so that I might photograph her. She was gracious and consented to pose for a 21-year-old student. Although she was the subject of my first portrait, regrettably, I did not get her name. This is one of Karsh's first portraits. And what I think is, again, this is 1929. And think of this. This is you. This is today. This is you walking down the street with your camera and you see this young lady in a library and you ask if you could bring her to Carty's studio space and take a photo. Like these kinds of stories are amazing, you know?
I mean, we come back to this. This is what you do early in your career if you're a portrait photographer.
Oh, look at this light. Like, do you see how Karsh, in his early life, he worshipped Hollywood? You have to imagine this young Armenian man in Canada escaping war, and he learns about Hollywood and he sees Hollywood movies and he loves photography. So he imitated Hollywood lighting. Like that was the vibe.
Karsh did some
Oh,
work in the theater.
this is so incredible. Like, understand film, and also Karsh shot large format cameras. So
He, for many, many years, he photographed.
Oh, okay. What? I mean, guys, I don't know if it's just me, but this makes me so happy. Do you see like gray form, white form, black form? This as reflections in this vase? Like, you just fire,
all
man.
the
Like,
stage plays at Ottawa Little Theatre.
and I mean, when I say his love of Hollywood, like, look at his love of Hollywood. Like, this is Ottawa. I think this is where he stayed.
When I was studying photography at Ottawa U about 10 years ago, one of the
Let's go,
photographers
Dev.
that
Glad
I
you're here,
kept coming
buddy.
back to over and over again was yousuf Karsh. Karsh had a way
Let's go.
in photography of showing you more than just what the person looked
Look
like.
at this
There was
photographer,
something in
man.
his pictures that made you feel like you knew the person you were looking at.
Yes.
And that was remarkable because that was the case in every single picture he took.
This is the picture. This is the most famous picture from yousuf Karsh, the famous Winston Churchill photograph that stopped the war. It was the cover of Life magazine in 1945.
Whether
Yeah.
it was a picture of Winston Churchill that everybody knows, or pictures of actors who were famous at the time that aren't necessarily famous anymore, you always got to know a little.
Look at that hand on the hip, man. Like, the pose is so incredible. And that look at, like, I mean, I've stared at this photograph since I was a
bit
teenager.
more about the person by looking at the picture. There was some magical element of storytelling present in every one of his photos.
So I hope that you see
That was something that
Um,
really grabbed me as a young photographer. And
a
so
little bit of influence of mine from Karsh. Like, I hope that you see in my work a little bit of the Karsh influence, the way that he kisses light, the way that he's always like flattery first. He always photographed people in the best light. Like, he wanted to, like, he loved people, so he shot them optimistically. You know, that's a choice. We can shoot people in a positive or a negative or a neutral way as a creator.
I've been wanting to do ever since I first picked up a camera. I do that through film. through
Famous
stories now.
photograph.
Karsh could do that in a
Famous,
single
famous
frame, which was
photograph.
amazing.
Audrey Hepburn.
In fact, the first time that I met him, I was on my way into the Chateau Laurier, where his studio was. And that day I was commissioned to photograph a wedding. So I was struggling
I
with
love
all
this.
these
I love, like, the man wore a suit every day, like, to his studio. He wore a suit to his studio every day. His printer is wearing a button down and a tie. Like,
that I had to carry and trying.
and Balfour, like, this was his assistant. And I want you to understand how being an assistant, you adopt the, like, the working things from your mentor. So Andrew Balfour, being Karsh's former assistant years ago, look at how he presents himself. He's in a button down. He's wearing a suit jacket. Like, it's not a full suit, but he also has learned from Karsh how you present yourself. And that part of it for yousuf was such a huge thing, like how he dressed.
Opened the door, and Mr. Karsh came up behind me. I didn't see him at first, and he opened the door for me. And when I realized who it was, I said, "Oh, you're Mr. Karsh." And he said, "Yes, I am," and gave me encouraging words about the work that I was about to do. You know, saying, "Oh, it's such a beautiful day for the work," and he had, I guess, been out for a walk. He had picked some wildflowers. He had
Look
those
at
in his
this.
hand.
Look at
and he
this,
had
like,
brief-
8x10 camera that he's shooting with. Have to understand also, Yousuf, like, I've met him, and even in my teenage years, like at 19, I remember saying, I'm going to be a fashion photographer. And he's like, yes, you are. You're going to be the best fashion photographer there is. Like, he was so positive and so encouraging to me as a young photographer that it's like, for me, that's how I am with young photographers. I think that that's how all creators should be with the next generation. Like, encouragement is, it's so much more positive than not. It's easy to encourage. It's easy to believe in somebody. And for the person that you believe in, what that's worth to them, it's immeasurable. It's free for us to believe in people. Karsh believed, and he was incredibly generous, flattering,
which I remember
and
to this day
encouraging.
very vividly, because it was such a unique experience to see, you know, the man who we all assumed was the best photographer.
That's so meta. That's so meta. Very funny.
And he came up to me.
It's very funny. It's very funny. Wow. This is all shots from his
He
studio.
was extremely famous. Yeah, I was only maybe 22 or 23 at the time. Such a remarkable thing when you meet somebody who's achieved so much that you
That's a sculpture,
hope
a
to do at the beginning of your
sculptor with a sculpture
it
of
always
Karsh.
made me wonder where I would end up. So, and he was,
I don't know, man. I love this guy.
I don't know, maybe my age now when I was that age, or maybe a bit older, I don't know, but he seemed very old to me. But he was very encouraging.
Let's go.
But it all started with his most famous picture.
Very,
which,
very,
at the time-
very, like, you guys know that this is Yousuf Karsh, his photograph of Mother Teresa. This is it's the most famous photograph of Mother Teresa, but also one of Karsh's most famous photographs. There's a
This
few.
was on so many magazine covers. It was a really huge.
I met Karsh.
now,
There's Helen Keller. I met Karsh in 1989 or 1990, and he died. I think he died 2 years
if somebody made a
after.
photograph that was published that much, we would say it's gone viral. At that time, of course, there was no social
Georgia
media.
O'Keeffe. Like, he photographed the most influential people of the generation. Like, everybody had to be photographed by Karsh.
Internet.
Oh, by the way, you guys know the Queen, the photograph of the Queen that's on our currency, that's stamped on our coins, is a Yousuf Karsh portrait. Fun fact. Karsh shot for our money.
We had magazines, and every magazine in Canada, the U.S., Britain, they all published this picture of Churchill, and this is
Super famous photograph.
what made Karsh
But
famous.
name
Took him
spelled
up
wrong
on
there.
and,
Very, I mean, you guys know this photograph of Mandela. Definitely say hello if you guys know this photograph of Nelson Mandela. And did you know that it was photographed by Karsh? That's my next question. Do you know this picture of Mandela? Did you know it was Karsh?
allowed him to do this section, which is called the famous 500. And Karsh photographed so many famous people.
Famous 500.
Everybody knew who he was.
Oh, Again, another, the famous
when they ask
500.
someone to sit for their portrait, it would be normally they would just say yes.
You didn't know it was Karsh? That picture? Look at this picture. This is another absolute, like, no Photoshop. Film. Shot in 1943. Like, take this in. This is insane. Like, look at the nuance in this man's photography. Like, I'm this man just floors me. Alice, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Let's go. Don't worry about being late, girl. You're here when you're here. We love you always. Rembrandt.
Karsh also wasn't afraid to change what a portrait was. There was this idea in portraiture.
That's the money.
from
That's the
painting.
photograph that's on our money, by the way. That is the shot of the Queen that he shot for Canada for the currency.
To change what a portrait was. There was this idea in portraiture from paintings, where a portrait is a person well lit. You see their face, they're looking at the painter or at
Ernest
the camera.
Hemingway, again, you guys know this photograph of Ernest Hemingway. Did you know that this Hemingway portrait was done by Karsh? Why are my viewers so goddamn hilarious, my guy? I mean, again, this is who watches me. People like this that drop comments like that. I absolutely love it, man. Let's go. Bear Thunder says that he heard that Karsh photoshopped a lot of his
Karsh would turn that
pictures.
around.
Oh my god. He's known as the Rembrandt of photography. I can appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hanging out with Ansel. Look at the height. He was so small, Julie. I think he was shorter than you. I think he was shorter than you.
Karsh's remarkable ability to show you a person. One of the biggest ones that really stands out is the picture of Albert Einstein.
Oh my
There's a
god.
thing-
Again, another absolute holy shit photo that did you know that this was Karsh? And the style, his Hollywood sensibility, the way that he would rim light people, he would use natural light, he would use artificial light. Keep in mind, this is pre-studio strobes. All of his lights were like hot lights. And
This picture of Einstein that went around
Yeah.
on posters in every classroom in the 90s,
Yeah,
where he's got his
this
tongue out
is-
looking like this crazy madman. But Karsh's portrait is very composed. Einstein is sitting there with his hands in front of him.
Look
as if
at
he was
this.
thinking. And
Oh
there's
my word.
something going on in his mind. You can tell he's thinking. There's math. There's some physics
definitely an
equation
11,
happening
right,
there.
Julie?
In that one picture, that just happens to be Albert Einstein. And that one pose with hands clasped in front of him is something he used over and over again. You see that again in his picture of Kennedy. It's
Oh my
in the
God,
picture of Humphrey
right?
Bogart. He's holding a cigarette.
Right?
He's got his hands.
Look at this, dude. Hands. This is so crazy. Like, I need to like start doing like hand photographs. Yes, like 3 in a row that just punched. Right? That just punched. Hello. Hello.
Portrait is very composed. Einstein is
Incredible.
sitting there with his hands in front of him as if he was thinking. And there's something going on in his mind. You can tell he's thinking. There's math. There's some physics equation happening in there. In that one picture, that just happens to be Albert Einstein. And that one pose with hands clasped in front of him is something he used over and over again. You see that again in his picture of Kennedy. It's in
Okay, look at the Rembrandt lighting, okay? Now, the thing that is so next level is the fact that he's coming in this way with light. He has that same pocket, that Rembrandt lighting, but the perspective that he's hitting him is not from where you would think, which would normally be shooting him this way, right? With this lighting, but he hit him from literally 100% shadow side. Like, it's insane. It's literally insane. And also, like, Kennedy was dead 3 years later. Like, that's the thing that it's like, it's just, this shit is crazy.
Picture
Well,
of
not-
Humphrey
like,
Bogart.
yeah,
he's holding a
Kennedy
cigarette,
died
he's
in
got his hands in front of him as if he's thinking,
63.
which shows you more than just having the person's face in the picture.
Hepburn.
Now, he's got a very famous picture of Pablo Casals, the cellist, who is
So
sitting
amazing, man.
in an attic somewhere in a study playing the cello, and you don't even see his face. It's from the back. He's lit with a light coming in, and it's an amazing view that you, as an
Yeah,
audience
that
member,
double
seeing him
light.
play never would have. You would be in the
That
seat
double
looking at the
light
orchestra.
from this
You'd never be
way
looking at
and
it
from
the
this
back.
way.
But that portrait
Like,
really
look
shows
at that.
a lot of
Like,
who
just
the
this
player
body
is,
of
who the
shadow
cellist
that's
is,
here.
from an
It's
angle that
so
couldn't
strong.
be shown.
It's so sick.
And this idea of not showing everything really
And then
made,
also
for me,
bringing
a lot
in
of
this
what made Karsh
part
such a great photographer.
in the foreground. This part of that's out of focus in the foreground is sick. So crazy. That's kind of like very unkarsh, you know? That's a very unkarsh photo. Oh. I'm glad because I was about to stop this baby. Marilyn, yeah, there's so many good ones that he gets into still. This is nuts.
He would do remarkable things. For example, he's got a portrait
Like,
of Muhammad Ali, where all you see are
insane.
his two hands.
Insane.
Everybody had seen Ali's face, and he was the greatest boxer of all time. But to take somebody like Muhammad Ali and show him by only showing his hands really emphasizes a whole different side.
His use
Those
of
are the hands that
magnifying
won the fight.
glasses,
That's
like
what
this,
made him the fighter, the
he was
greatest
just
of all
so
time.
clever,
And
this
it's
guy.
a bold step for a portrait, especially in the early 20th century, when everything was a picture
Yeah.
of the person. You could put it on a postage stamp,
You
send
love
it around.
Karsh's
to shoot
portraits of
just somebody's
Dali,
hands really
or you
simple.
love Dali's
But
portraits?
Karsh also had this ability to work with other visual artists and bring out parts of them that you wouldn't necessarily see, or show them in a way that they didn't necessarily think of showing themselves.
So sick.
He's got a very famous portrait of Pablo Picasso, where he's standing next to a vase with a woman on it. Or he's got a portrait of Andy Warhol, where Warhol is looking at the camera holding a brush to his head, almost in a way that you would hold a gun to your head. Warhol was known for being volatile, for being a person who would fly off the handle at all times. And to turn this idea of the brush to the temple as a gun to the temple really shows who Andy Warhol was. We knew Warhol through his paintings. Some people knew him through his crazy temper and the parties he would throw. And Karsh's portrait really shows that in a very visual, in some cases very visceral.
Having nothing.
Look at
to
that
be
self-portrait.
one of the most accomplished portrait photographers in the world, and that's a huge inspiration. If he can do that, then any one of us can. So when I'm making portraits myself, or when I'm teaching my photography students, I'm thinking about this kind of thing, like how inspiring somebody's story is. And
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of what
just
we
riveted
do
by this guy.
is,
Guys, I hope
to
I hope that
find,
you are also
a
quite
common story
as
that we-
into
whether it's,
the work
for making a portrait, trying to
that
connect with
I
that
am.
person.
That I feel like was very, very, very necessary for me to get into. I've been watching this creator, yousuf, since photography school, and there are some really, really great highlights. His photograph of Muhammad Ali, his photograph of Martin Luther King. He really broke the internet back then when he was making these portraits. His light, his use of black and white, his unflinching style, and just how everybody wanted to be in front of Karsh. I mean, it's something that I wish that my career will end as prolifically as this man did. Guys, yousuf Karsh.
Let's go.
All right. Let's get into your favorite. Let's review some photos, yeah? Let's review some photos. Guys, you can have your photographs reviewed if you jump in my Discord. Discord, all you needs to do is type command Discord in chat, or you will see my Discord link in the description of the video that you're watching right now. Let's get into it. I got to tell you, one of the reliefs that I feel from streaming here on YouTube instead of streaming on Twitch is I don't actually ever see how many people are watching me. I actually never see how many people are watching. How I react or how I comment or how I chat are with the people who comment and make little notes in my chat. But I'm never looking to see how many people are watching. I think it makes me flow a little bit better. I definitely used to watch my watchers, my viewers, every second. I wanted to know how many people were watching, and now it's yeah, I just want to flow. Let's look at our photo bomb. Photo bomb. We have a photo from Ray. And that's it. Let's look at this photograph from Ray. A new edit from last night. We are past Milky Way season, but it was fun to go through this one. Wow, Ray. Wow.
Let's go.
Really strong. Really strong. I like this a lot. Like, it's so difficult to do this type of astrophotography, this type of night photography. Ray Cleveland does this so well. It's almost like every single one of the photographs that Ray makes is a cover. It's like every one of these night photographs that this man makes is a cover. So Ray, this is unequivocally the heat. My guy, unequivocally the heat. Thank you so much for submitting. Thank you so much for submitting. You guys feeling it? Pretty incredible, right? Amazing. Photograph from Ray Cleveland. Let's go. So, as I noticed that there are no photos in the drop today, we can shift. You guys can talk to me a little bit about how your week has been, how your photo shoots have been this week, how your photo shoots have been this week. If you have had photo shoots this week, I also would love to look at the community tab and see a little bit of your answers. So a couple weeks ago, I asked my viewers right here on my community page 10 questions, and you guys have been amazing by answering. What do you have the hardest time with? What do you need the most help with? What part of photography makes you the most anxious? What makes you the happiest? What is your goal with photography? What do you think that you're the best at? What do you hate about photography? What do you think that you're the worst at? What's the number one thing that you think you need to improve? And what's your perfect photography life for 2023? So we did get lots of people responding. So I would like to read our latest response, which comes from our man Turtle. So Turtle says that he has the hardest time with scheduling and making relevant contacts. Scheduling is easy. If you're on an iPhone or if you're on Google, you can use Google Calendar. Like, be hyper disciplined with your calendar. Like, that's something that, be hyper disciplined with your calendar. That's scheduling. That's easy. Making relevant contacts. Again, you guys know I talk about making moo cards, so you have a card that starts a conversation that you can give people. I also talk about tappy, which is you can tap your contact information to people who you meet in real life. Again, it starts conversations. So that's number one thing that I would do. Number two thing that I would do is use tappy. The last thing is practice talking to camera. Just talk to your phone. Like, hey, blah, blah, and just talk about what you do and what you're doing. Record it, play it back, and it gives you a perspective of how other people see you when you're having those conversations. I would also work on what I would call your elevator speech, and your elevator pitch, or your elevator speech. Your elevator pitch is like 3 lines. What you do. Hey, I'm a photographer. Oh, really? What do you shoot? I shoot editorial portraits. Oh, really? What's that? Oh, editorial portraits. You know those people that you see in magazines? I make those photographs. Really? You shoot celebrities? I do. I've shot all kinds of people that you've known, like this and this and this and this. And I shoot advertising. I broadcast. I'm a YouTuber. Like, oh, like you have things that you can say that promote more conversation. You heard me just go back and forth on a conversation. That's rehearsed. Oh, really? What you shoot? What kind of style? Like, how do you shoot? I shoot like a straight up, no bullshit approach to portrait photography. I make stylized reality. That's my style. I shoot stylized reality. I make the kind of photographs that you think that you could make. That's what I say. So that's my pitch. So having that at the tip of your tongue is something that's super helpful when it comes to talking about your photography. What do you need the most help with? Marketing yourself. That goes back to what I just said. Get comfortable talking about what you do. Get into you. Get comfortable with talking about what you do. Get used to having a conversation where your aim, your goals, your wishes, your dreams is a little bit more about the focus. And again, because we're not egomaniacs, marketing ourselves feels like boasty. You know what I mean? It feels, marketing ourselves feels almost like too much. Like, are we even ready to do that? But know that the universe has given you talent. That talent is for you to share with the world. The only way that you can share it with the world is if you tell people. It's like, it's not marketing. It's, you're trying to grow a reach. You're trying to grow a business. You're trying to let more humans know what you do. You can just call it something else. If marketing intimidates you, definitely don't call it self-promotion, because that sounds more self. What you try to think is like you're a facilitator. You're helping people. Somebody needs an aerial view of their property. They can't do that on their own, but you can come in and help them, Turtle. So think about how you're a problem solver, and it'll be easier to market yourself. Yeah? Okay, we go on. What part of photography makes you the most anxious? Back to the same thing, marketing myself. So all the same things apply. What makes you the happiest? Finding a unique perspective with my lens. Again, specializing. And that's what you're doing by being a drone pilot. What's your goal with photography? To create a revenue stream to supplement my drone services. And again, I hope watching the beginning of this episode know that I showed that photographer Chris Hytha, because I think that that's what his name, but I showed that photographer to show you how he uses his drone to make prints. And he's making these incredible prints that are desirable, that people want to buy. It's a unique perspective that humans don't get the gift of flight. So thank you, Bear Thunder. So because we don't get the gift of flight, we're not able to see like this. So being a drone pilot, there's avenues for you to sell your work. What do you think that you're the best at? Have the patience to sit in a location waiting for the perfect shot without getting anxious. Aerial photography is my strong point, and it's where most of my focus is. So again, back to specialty. That's just reinforcing his confidence in his specialty. And again, feel good about this, my man Turtle. What do you hate about photography? Marketing yourself. Time restrictions for landscape photography. Time restrictions meaning perfect time of day. I'm imagining time of day. I'm imagining that that's what that means, and how the windows are narrow. That all comes to planning. It really does. It comes down to knowing what the weather was today based on, okay, blah, blah, blah. Now let's check the weather. It's going to be the same tomorrow as it is today. Now you're going to time it and get in there early, be there an hour ahead of when the time to shoot is, and then be ready and set up to shoot leading up into the perfect time, through the perfect time, and then after the perfect time. It's all about preparation. The more prepared you are, the easier this shit's going to fly. What's the number one thing you need help with? What do you think you're the worst at? Marketing myself. Like, you can see for most photographers, this is the thing that continually comes up over and over and over again, is marketing. So for me, it seems like it's time for me to really start pushing hard on photographers marketing themselves, because I think that that's a hole within YouTube. And I think helping photographers market themselves is something that everybody keeps asking me over and over again, or telling me over and over again. That's what they're the worst at. I know how to talk with other photographers. No idea how to go about contacting potential clients. So that's something where it tells me that more of my video content should be about this, because this is what you guys are really asking for. What's the number one thing you need to improve? Self-confidence, and to put myself forward into a new space. Again, that all comes from validation. Confidence comes from validation. Once people validate us, it gives us the confidence. As soon as someone's like, oh my God, that's great. Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, like, I love that photo of yours. It boosts us and we ride that wave. By the way, as you can see how much compliments help us as creators and as creatives, secret time, it also means that you as a creator should also be giving compliments. Give more compliments. I'm telling you, compliments help me keep this stream going. If you say, oh my God, Carty, thank you for the stream. Carty, that was great. Like, this kind of stuff, it fuels me. And that compliment that I get in a chat message, or in a compliment, at the end of a video that I make, that fuels me, and it fills me up like you've just given me $100. So if you're a person that doesn't find yourself like just complimenting people freely and telling strangers, oh my God, I like your hat, or hey, cool dress, or like, oh, your nails look cool today, or like that kind of stuff. If you just get into the habit of complimenting people, obviously your subject, you compliment your subject when things are working, you correct them when things don't, but then you over compliment them once they've corrected that thing and now they're into that headspace. You hear me constantly. Great. Oh my God. Great. Yeah. And also when I work, I'm also exaggerated. I'm exaggerated, not in a bad way, but just in a way that flatters and compliments and pumps up my subject. That's all I'm trying to do, is to make my subject feel amazing. And then when they leave, not only do they have the work, but they also have the feeling. wow, that guy Carty, not only did he photograph me amazing, but he made me feel so fucking good. That's what we have to do as creators. And us photographers, we're so shy. We forget about what's happening in front of us, and we're like looking at our fucking camera. Like, focus on your subject, the technology, the photography, all of that will take care of itself. But it's all about relationships. It's all about like us making our people feel at ease. Yeah. Let's look at what's your perfect photography life for 2023? I'm selling my prints of my aerial shots, making money creating photogrammic maps. Business is self-sufficient. So that is community questions. And I got to tell you, these community questions, not only do they help me understand you guys more as photographers, I believe that it also helps you. It helps yourselves as creators. It helps you guys as photographers. It helps me make content that's more tailored towards your needs. And it's good to do a deep dive on yourself. It's good to do a soul search on yourself, you know? I think it's positive. Because you guys can't get enough of me, my man Bear Thunder has dropped a couple more photos, and my brother Les Carty has dropped some new photos of that RX-7. Bear and Heyo, we got all kinds of new photos. eFriend also dropped some shots. So eFriend, we are getting back to the real photo reviews. Nikon Z7 II with a 50 and a 105. New work from eFriend. Let's have a look. eFriend, your work is always impressive. You've really been progressing beautifully. This is a lovely photograph. Really nice with the skin. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This girl's frighteningly skinny, but it's still a really beautiful, beautiful capture. I really like the light. I'm imagining this is a natural light setup. Is that correct in me thinking so? This is a natural light setup, mister? Look at that as a cover, yeah? I love this. This is super dope. Super, super dope. The nuance here is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. You can see eFriend's light placement. He has gorgeous window coming from here. It's pushing in perfect light. His head angle and the way that he has the face turned this way towards the light, the shoulder turned this way towards the light. Really, really subtle nuance between highlight and shadow. Look at the jawline and how the head angle of the face, and also this swoop that's going on with the hair, dude. And this is fucking amazing. I really, really love what you did in this photograph. eFriend, this is a banger. This is your first 11.
Let's go.
We are looking at your next one. eFriend, come in with the smoke. Let's go, buddy. Again, I've said before, I have some of the most talented viewers on YouTube watching me. I'm very, very happy. Let's look at this second picture from eFriend. We're going to give it a big blow up here. You shoot Art P, right, eFriend? Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that this is... You always bring dry texture spray. Super smart. You shoot RP or you shoot R? I'm just curious as to what camera body you shoot with. Oh yeah, you said in the beginning the Nikon Z7 II with the 50, right? Super clean, man. You just have to make sure that she doesn't squish her titties too much. You can see, I mean, that's the only thing that I see after like a good couple of scans. You can see she's pressing her boobs too hard. So she's like actually like deforming her skin. I would have gone, rather than her hands like that, I would have gone her arm across. And also you could kind of like, when you use her arm across that way, what you're able to do is like use her elbow as like a V line that like kind of draws you this way. You can imagine you take this elbow and you just anchor that elbow. You just anchor that elbow so it's not coming down here, but it's coming here. That's all. And then it comes across the breast here and goes up the breast there. See what I'm saying? Again, it's just like everything else is cool. Everything else is cool. I like her up against the background. I like her head angle. It's swaggy. I just think she's pressing her tits too much. And she's super fit. She's super fit. So I would love to see her, because she's thin, but also really fit. You need to show her in more of a power position. I want to see her in more of a power position, like think Superwoman, like strong, like that kind of vibe. Obviously you can't do that with her top off, unless you're fine with showing titties. I think that the posing, there's something that's a little bit too lax with the posing when she has such a strong body. So far, your first picture is the banger for me. It's the one that is like the wow for me. I like the fluidity of this picture, E-friend. I like how she feels like she's like basically moving in that direction. Like I do like that feeling. I do like the wispiness. You do have a little bit of hair that's falling right in front of her face, and you can see when we go this big, the focus starts to fall apart on the inside eye. Where we should be working on is like, I think it might be your f-stop might be a little bit wide. You might have to drop down a little bit, but you're there, and you're there with ISO because of hand blah blah blah. I just feel like there's just a little bit of softness here. And also, you know, these stray hairs coming down here become like, with your retouching style, super difficult to get rid of these hairs on top of the skin. So in shooting, just try to avoid single strays over skin, especially in shadow. It becomes like, I don't know, it's just not fun. And then when you're trying to clean those hairs away, where the issue is not cleaning the hair away from here. That's no problem. That stuff is all easy. But where it gets weird is right on this line. That's where it gets, oh yeah, he took hairs away. So we just need to watch that. It's small things, friend. But again, I really love this. You have to understand also, for females, when you see girls' ribs down here, when you see a girl's ribs like this is muscle. But these are ribs. When you see that, it's like nobody wants to see a girl that is so skinny that you can see her ribs through her back. Do you know what I mean? So if that's the case, you have to photograph this girl in a strategic way that doesn't make her look skinnier. You have to make her look stronger, not frailer. You know, so these lines back here, which are again shadows from her ribs in here and also her rib cage here, that those things together mean it doesn't promote health, and that's something that I'm like, I have an issue with that. You'll notice you don't see ultra skinny models in my portfolio. Really dope with the pose. I like the pose. I like the idea. I like the attitude, the head angle, and everything. The only thing where you lost me is with these super clunky shoes. Like, if these are the shoes that she wore coming in to the place, cool. But this particular shot, I would rather have her barefoot with the stockings on, I feel like that would have been like cute, sexy, you know? Again, Julie, it's all about how it's photographed. I mean, it's all, you could have photographed it. You're a female. You might have had a different perspective and had a female's take in order to make it look so. But again, it's like the overall arching vibe that I got was somebody throw that chick a steak, you know? So you don't want to be thinking that when you're photographing models. These shoes feel too outdoor and too chunky. I would love them to be barefoot. And then just how far you go with playing with the chair. You can really use the chair as a prop. I just feel like what this particular frame is, it's just the most basic way that you could use the chair. The light that's coming on her face, this nuance in her chin, the nuance here, the nuance here, this, all of this light, how her hair, like, this chick's got wicked hair. She shoots, her hair shoots well. The hands, all of this is cool, but I just want you always, Efren, to be looking at like Vogue, looking at Harper's Bazaar, looking at like the craziest poses that you can find. You sigh, there we go. Like if you look at Yusai and think about his poses, first of all, expression. Like look at how punch expression is. Like expression is so big. Let me just show you a quick little scan of like look at pose. You know, look at pose. Pose. Like the same light almost. Like, I mean, you were shooting natural light, but like this is just, it's fun to look at references for like that kind of stuff. Like it's just reference poses that take your posing way past where you pose normally. Look at work that takes your posing way further. And then when we're shooting, our poses get way further because we're looking, like, look at her hand, how her hand is like clenched like that. And her other hand, like how that creates just this tension. Look at how the wind machine is blowing. Again, this is the kind of subtleties that we all have to look at when we're looking at photographs. Look at how the wind machine is blowing in a pattern that is the shape of a bikini on this dress. Like it's, I don't know, like this is the kind of like, it's almost like we need to create like a tension in our posing, but the only way that we find that is by looking at references. Look at this pose. Do you see this pose? Do you see this vibe? Like, this is what I would like you to think about is get like bent on photographers. Get bent on how the best poses. Like look at Richard Avedon and how Richard Avedon would pose models. Like look at this. Like this is like wild. It's like it's wide angle. It's so wrong. It's so wrong that it's right. Like that's the kind of thing. Like look at that chair that you just shot and look at this girl using this chair and look how she's using the chair. Do you know what I mean? And think of this. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that I would like you to think about when it comes to posing. How far can you go? That's all. Efren, you're an incredibly talented photographer. The only reason that I can talk like this to you is because your talent. And I know that you want to get absolutely as good as possible. You want to be a household name. Of course, we all do. How that's going to happen is by you breaking brains. This is, again, this This is the next one that I'm gonna be wowed over. There's an exposure thing you guys can see on stream that this, although this is 100% on 11, like I absolutely love this photograph. Please reprocess it for me a little and bring this up plus 1/2. It needs 50% more exposure. It needs somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of more exposure. There's so many things that are winning with this picture. First of all, look at it as a cover. First of all, look at her hair, how her, like, there's so many things that win. This is so much more dynamic than this. And I hope you see the difference, how this makes me feel like I'm right next to this girl and she's gonna whisper me a secret. Like, this is so intimate. But again, you have to just shoot through this process, friend. That's how all of this comes together. This is an absolute banger. Absolute banger. Very, very happy with that photo. Very happy with that photo. Fair Thunder. All right, let's look at more, yeah? This is cool too. This is cool too. I prefer the first one. I prefer the first one over this one, but that's okay. The thing that I really respect here is the spacing. You have good space here. I mean, your cut would be here, so you wouldn't lose the finger. I like actually the way the knee cuts here because you could also cut here and not really lose anything. You can also cut here and not lose anything. So I think this is an absolute banger. Look at this as a cover. This is really great, really great. Like, look at that. And also exposure. Look at the exposure here and how this exposure is on. Now, you see what I mean as far as the darkness? It's very subtle. It's very slight, but it's because her hair is blocking most of the light. Most of the face now ends up being in shade. You know what I mean? Most of the face here now ends up being in shade. So you have to kind of compensate a little bit with exposure. Very proud of my guy, eFriend. Let's go. And then more traditional eFriend that we recognize. Straight on. Again, this is strong. This is strong. It's processed perfectly. The contrast is great. I feel it's a little safe with the light. But still very strong. Still very strong. I'm not trying to make you photograph like me. I'm trying to make you photograph like you more. Couple of flyaways just in front, you know, that you could, that's over her eyelashes and over her eye that you could probably fix. The rest of the skin retouching is really great. Her messy hair doesn't bother me at all. Look at it as a cover. Let's look at this as a cover. Super strong as a cover. This is great, eFriend. Very great. And again, this is more your style. Like this, I know you shoot like this. I like the fact that you're pushing yourself into new realms with your pictures. It's definitely beneficial for you, and it's gonna help. You're gonna see how much it helps. This is great, really great. The skin's a bit hot here. Skin's a bit hot here. This forehead is plus a third, I'd say. You can pull this back. The nuance of the shadow here, love it. The jawline, I love it. Her pose even, I love it. But I would bring this down by a third. Just make sure that this doesn't look white. Because right now, if you scan the picture, her skin is the white, black, gray. Her skin is the white. So you want her skin to fall at a lower tone than that. So that's my only 2 cents about this picture. I love the pose. I love how she looks lost, sad. All of this stuff really works for me for this photograph. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very like of a different era. If you told me this was shot in the 40s, I would believe you. This is beautiful, beautiful, and a perfect shot to share with me on a day that we are looking at yousuf Karsh. Yeah, really great. Yeah, you really did well to shoot, man. You should be very proud. You should be very proud. Very proud. I like the runs in the stockings. It's super dope, but I would like to actually see it more, because you can see there's runs in her stocking right along here, but I'd like her to be twisted so you can see that more. This knee coming camera front, it's not very flattering. And in fact, if you play that game where you cover most of the photo and just show this, you don't actually know what that is. It just looks strange. So again, the pose is cool. Like, I don't hate it. Her foot covers her gitch, which I'm sure you need to do. This foot, I would prefer that to be just her foot in a stocking with like runs and stuff like that. I think that would be hotter. And then you would be able to pose her differently because she doesn't have those clunky shoes on. You're a little bit close here. That's too close as far as how close you are here to the knee. As far as crop wise, let's look at it as a cover. Did you pre-crop this to 9x12 already? I think you did. So I have no complaints there. The only thing you can see the line, this, I would love this to be straighter and balance that to this line here. Oops, I'm drawing it on my wrong screen. This line here, I would love that. You can see it's different than this line here. I would like that to be parallel to here. Small things. And I would love this knee to not be so close here. Because this is monochromatic, you can extend this gray this way and make it just wider. You know, because there's nothing on that side, you could do the same thing that way. There's no issues. Of how her hair looks in this picture versus all the other pictures that we saw of her, eFriend. Look at this here. Amazing hair. Amazing hair. Here, her hair's kind of dead. So that's something that you had to zhuzh her hair again. By the way, if you don't know what zhuzhing, that's a fashion term. Zhuzhing is when you go like this and like make her hair like have life again. She needs some zhuzhing like she has here. That's the only thing I have to say about that photo. But overall, you should be really happy, man. Overall, you should be really happy.
Let's go.
I'm going to tell you what I feel like is your best from all the photographs that you submitted today. Let me have a little look, and I'm going to show you your best photo. Okay, let's go. I got it. I'm going to show you your best photos. Yeah, it's quite easily these three. We're going to start from here. Just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Super, super fire. Really happy with you, eFriend. This looks fantastic. Next, this photo right here, like absolute smoke, man. Like, wow. I love the vibe. I love the feeling that this photograph gives me. It's just heat. Love it. And lastly is firstly. The first photograph you showed is this photograph here. It's really growing on me. We're going to call this one your best photo of the day. Congratulations, eFriend. And again, thank you so much for submitting today.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Bear Thunder says her being absolutely gorgeous doesn't make these photos worse. Oh my God. All right, and speaking of Bear, I think we have some new photos from Bear up in the hizzy. You guys are now pumping all kinds of photographs up in here. Bear says, started playing with my new ultra macro lens. Here's some preliminary test shots from today. Stacks are from about 15 to 40 shots. Oh, these are grains of sand. My new project will be a collection of shots of sand from around the world. So this is giving us a bit of a guide as far as the magnification. Let's have a look at Bear Thunder shooting grains of sand. Look, they look like goddamn boulders. Bear, this is heat, baby.
Let's go.
I really like this bear. This is amazing. The composition is great, and how absolutely tack sharp this is. Bear Thunder has been working on this body of macros for easily over 2 years. He's been working on perfecting his documenting of incredibly small things. Keep in mind, he does focus stacking. This is an absolute wonder and so beautiful to look at.
Let's go.
First photograph from Bear. Let's look at another, shall we? This is now on a white background. Now, Bear, you need to tell me if you lit this background or if this is a composite. Yeah, it looks like you just pulled this background into white, which is okay. Really gorgeous, man. Like, I can't believe this is sand. It just looks like little pieces of glass. I really enjoy looking at this bear. I feel like this should be a print. Look at the plastics. Look at, like, the rock within rock. I mean, to me, this is all bits of glass. Like, that's what sand is. It's just ground up glass and rock. Yeah, it's amazing. I love scanning this picture, Bear. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's look at another. Oh, those are just the two. Sad face. I wanted more. I wanted more. Guys, this is photo from bear number 2. This is photo from bear number 1. If I had a choice, I would like to choose this one because I like it on a black background better.
Let's go.
That's it. Guys, this is amazing. I would love to see you experiment more. More, please. Bear Thunder. That is amazing. All right. Let's look at some photography from my brother Les Carty. My brother Les is working on a RX-7 that him and his apprentice have been working on, I guess, all week. It looks like this is finally ready to be delivered. My brother does paint and body work. He brings old cars back to life. Let's have a look at this here. He brings old cars back to life, and this one is looking brand goddamn new. Chico used to have this car. Chico used to have this car, my brother. I remember this car well. I spent a lot of time in this car. Wow, Les, the paint works clean. Obviously, this is their fairing that you're just putting back on, which kind of protects the paint when it's bumping up curbs, I'm sure. But it's scratched as fuck. This thing looks like, obviously you didn't buy another one. But it also looks like it's set up as a race car, this. Did this guy go to the track with this thing? Super dope. Super dope, Les. This is super clean, man. Thanks for sharing that work. I appreciate that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bruh.
Bruh. All right, Turtle. Turtle says, number 1, droney. Number 2, photometry. Photometry, yeah. Photogrammetry of the local water treatment. Computer isn't powerful enough for the high res of something this large yet. and a spot where drift cars go to retire at an airport. Okay, so this is Turtle. This is his droney. Let's go, Turtle. Let's go. Let's go, Turtle. Thank you for submitting this. Let's have a look at this just a little bit bigger. Let's go, Turtle. Great shot, dude. I'm so glad that you submitted this. Obviously, pulling focus and grabbing focus with drone photography is a little tricky. You pulled focus just a little bit beyond yourself. You can see back here's in focus, but not yourself. I know that you can tap on the drone screen. You can just tap, draw a square around you, and it just locks focus on that. Just make sure that you're doing such on the next time you shoot dronies. Let's have a look at the next one from my man Turtle. Oh, let's go. This is what I've been begging for from this guy. This is what I've been begging for. And telling Turtle that he's going to be able to do this. Like I said, this is your future. And seeing this is 333 photos composited together. Look at how this area just looks like liquid. It almost looks like an ocean of moving grass. Like, this is very, very, very good. I like this very much. I would love to see it horizontal just to fill the frame a little bit more. But what a magnificent photograph. And look at this as a cover, or as a cover idea. Look at that. Like, as a cover, you should be uploading these to an Instagram account. I think this is just super interesting photography. I really like this very much, Turtle. This is dope. Dope. Dope, 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 dope. You guys like this photo? Yes? You too? You feeling it? You enjoying the stream so far today? You guys enjoying? We're just about to wrap up, but I hope you guys are having a good time. I put a lot into these streams, you know? I try. All right. Let's look at another from Turtle. Wow. This is a drift spot where, dude, this is another print. I need to hide my camera so you can get full effect, but look at this. A spot where drift cars go. Look at the tires. Are you guys taking this in? This is such a print. Like, dude, your stuff is so printable. The more you can just nail the sharpness, nail the quality, like, your compositions have leveled up in an insane way in a very short time. Your compositions have leveled up in a very short time. Very proud of you, man. Very proud of you, Turtle. You can see that you're putting in so much effort. You can see that you're trying so hard to find interesting stuff to document, and this is crazy. I'm sure any drift car lover, I'm sure 44 Games sees this and is like, oh yeah, you know, this is just on brand and on the button. So there's a crop duster flying near you. My God, don't die. I love this. If I wasn't clear before about this being an 11, this is absolutely an 11. Very happy. Very happy. Guys, that is absolute fuego. Like fire. Fire, 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 fire. I hope you guys think that it's fire. I hope you guys think it's fire. I think that it's absolute fire. So, guys, thank you. Thank you for everybody for submitting today. I appreciate you all for submitting. If you guys are new and have never watched one of my streams before and are just watching now and are wondering how do I submit photos, how you submit photos is quite simple. All you need to do is type command Discord in chat, and as Julie has just done, that's going to provide the Discord link so you, the emerging photographer, can have your work reviewed by me. We are at the end of the show today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I've been a little anxious my last couple of shows. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to get over how anxious I've been about going live on YouTube lately. But I'm working on it. I hope you guys notice. the effort that I put into the content. Hope you guys are feeling it.
High quality content.
You're very welcome. I'm always trying to make you laugh, make you smile, inspire. But know that it's working because I'm at 985 subs. I'm almost at that point where I'm monetized. I'm still not quite there with watch time, but that comes from making videos that people want to watch. I'm learning about my audience every day. I learn a little bit more about you guys, my viewers. Let's go, Casper. Glad you're here, buddy. Let's go. Glad you're here. And also, you'll notice I have so much of my stream stuff back that was once broken. So much of my stuff is back to working, so I'm very, very happy. Yo, Stark, I appreciate you. I'm back to having some fun with these streams because, again, the vibe that I have on my gaming streams, it's like we need to nudge a little bit of that fun here on YouTube because I think that, I don't know, a lot of the photo streams are a little too stuffy. So we're trying to bring some jokes. Guys, I hope you appreciated today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed today. I definitely enjoyed. Thank you, everybody, for sharing the work. Know that we're going to have a whole new format for sharing, not really sharing the work, but we're going to have challenges. And those challenges won't just be on Sundays. It's going to be a challenge. It's like a weekly challenge. I give you that challenge on Sunday, and we look at that challenge all week, but there's going to be an overarching theme for every month. Every month. January is going to have a theme. February, March, April, throughout the whole year. And of that theme, there's going to be 4 challenges within that theme. If you guys do a year's worth of challenges on and all the themes, not only are you going to have a complete insane portfolio, but your skill set is going to be at a different level if you guys participate in these challenges. So just shifting the language, because I know when people hear assignment, they think school. No one wants to be in school anymore, but all of you want to get better at photography. So I'm going to challenge you. I think that challenging is going to be a bit of a better way. So guys, you know, I am here. You can always drop questions in any of my videos. You can always drop questions here. Please, if you've liked this stream today, hit the like button. You don't understand how much hitting the like button helps, especially on a live stream when I'm live. So when you guys tune into my live stream, tap that like button. It definitely pushes my lives out to more people. Make a comment on the live stream, share it to your social media. All this stuff definitely helps. So appreciate you guys all for liking that smash button. I appreciate you all for liking that smash button, and also screenshots, which is like pretty funny. We got all kinds of stuff happening on this stream now. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Guys, I'm gonna peace out. I hope you guys had a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye. Love you guys. Subscribe if you aren't already. I love you guys. Appreciate you all. See you on the next one.